This is the Fox 5 RebZone Sports Show, sponsored by R.C. Willey and Levitt Law Firm.
Good evening. Welcome inside the Red Zone. It is the Kev Show this week. Kevin Bullier alongside Kevin Kruger, running Rebel assistant coach. TJ Otzelberger is resting after a minor accident with the team bus on Friday night in Albuquerque. And so he's trying to get his body right here for the stretch drive. But it was a big win in Albuquerque for the Running Rebels.
Yeah, huge win, huge win. Guys fought and battled like crazy, and you know, could have given in at a couple points in the second half, but really fought together and fought through it in a really tough place to play.
Well, let's show you the highlights of this one. It was nip and tuck the entire way, and then UNLV handed New Mexico only its second home loss of the season.
Welcome to the North, on the Mile High and louder than.
The always classy welcome as UNLV ran with the Lobos in Albuquerque. The Rebels went on an 8-0 run early. Bryce Hamilton feeds Mbake Jong in the paint for two. Marvin Coleman dropped a three. Hamilton rattles down a pull-up 15-footer. And Elijah Mitrou-Long connected from downtown to give UNLV an early lead. New Mexico stayed in it. Corey Manigault goes down low for two. Watch the beautiful bounce pass from Mitrou-Long to a streaking Hamilton for the bucket. And Amari Hardy with the crossover to get space, and he gets the floater. Keith McGee started heating up from outside for the Lobos, burying three consecutive triples to give New Mexico the lead back. The Rebs responded. Mitrou-Long with the catch-and-shoot three. Hamilton goes coast to coast for the finger roll, and Coleman with the trifecta to get the lead right back. The back and forth continued. Manigault gets the pass and he slams it home. On the other end, the give and go to Vitaly Shebel, who rebounds his own miss and puts it back. Late in the half, Coleman with the baseline drive in the bucket, but New Mexico got the alley-oop to Manigault, and the Lobos had a 41-40 lead at the break. The Running Rebels wrestle the lead right back to start the second. Hardy drives to the bucket. Coleman with the baseline drive and lay-in, and Marv from downtown, and he gets the friendly rim bounce and down. It was a seesaw affair the rest of the way. Manigault with the wide-open path to the basket for the dunk. Then off the turnover, Coleman gets it ahead to Hamilton. He throws it down. And more defense. The steal by Mitrou-Long. The pass to Hardy while he's falling down, and Amari finishes on the other end. Mitrou-Long stayed hot. The triple. And another bucket for Eli. And then Hardy gets it to go for a 2-point UNLV lead. With 6 minutes to go, Shebel misses a dunk, and New Mexico gets in transition. Zane Martin lays it in on the other end. It was a 4-point swing that tied it at 66 with 6 minutes left. With New Mexico in the double bonus and picking up free throws, UNLV would have to match it with buckets. Mitrou-Long the length of the floor for the lay-in. Jong with the offensive rebound and put back, and Hardy drives for the bucket. The Rebel lead was 3 with a minute left. Here's the key play. New Mexico down 1 with the ball. Mitrou-Long though picks the pocket. He holds onto the ball and calls timeout, taking a push and a slap on his injured wrist, which led to a little skirmish. When the dust settled, the Rebels inbounded, got fouled, and Hardy calmly knocked down 2 free throws for a 3-point lead. Last chance for New Mexico. Martin tries a long trifecta. It won't go. Hamilton snags the rebound, and the Running Rebels go to Albuquerque and pick up a huge road win, 78-73 over New Mexico.
This is the big-time road win for us. I felt like we stayed together all night, played a full 40 minutes. Even when we had bad plays or miscues on defense, I felt like we got to the next possession. We pulled it out. We came here and we completed the job.
It was a big win. Every road win in any conference is a big win. So, we're going to take that one home and try to build from there.
You guys went small ball in this game, most of the time with 4 guards on the floor. There was a moment there for a little while where you had 5 guards on the floor. How much of that was dictated by the Donnie Tillman injury, or was it more matchups that you guys were looking to exploit?
Probably a little bit of both. I think in that situation throughout the year, we've done kind of the same thing, but Donnie or Nick Blair has been at the 5. But tonight, I think a little bit had to do with that, but then also with when New Mexico went small, we just felt that it was a better matchup for us, especially offensively, with 5 guards out on the floor. Because when they went and took Manigault out, we just felt that we could match that with our 5 guards and still have an advantage.
Crunch time on the road is always difficult, especially for ball handlers. There's just a lot going on with the noise and the pressure, but I thought everything was handled perfectly in the last 2 minutes of the game by your guards.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, there was a handful of minutes there where it kind of went from 5 to 4 to 3 to 1 to 3, and you know, any of those possessions, if we don't get the shot we need or a possession that we like, you know, a game can quickly swing the other way. So again, those 3 guys only having 1 turnover apiece is huge. And then, you know, late in the game when you have that kind of confidence about you, you know you're going to get a good shot at the rim. It's really just it really just helps with your confidence to finish the game.
Well, let's turn our attention now to Wednesday night, where Reno came down south for the big rivalry game, and this one had to go an extra 5 minutes. Paloma Villicana shows us what happened.
Wednesday night's game was a thriller against UNR, a packed Thomas and Mack Center, as the crowd noise was electric for this rivalry matchup. UNLV looking for revenge against the Wolfpack after falling 86-72 in Reno earlier this season. The Rebels opened up the game with some big shots early to get an offensive momentum going. Amari Hardy opened the game with a big 3. Bryce Hamilton adds a deep 3 from the corner, giving UNLV a 6-0 start. The Rebels feeling good, the Rebellion student section feeling good, and Jonah Antonio really feeling good in the first half, hitting not 1, not 2, but 3 3-pointers to keep this game within 2 at halftime as the Rebels trailed 39-37. UNR's Nezare Zazua would keep the Rebels on their toes, but here comes Antonio with the steal and the basket, giving the Rebels their first lead of the game, 50-49. Another steal from Elijah Mitrou-Long as the Rebels are fighting hard down the stretch. Bryce Hamilton with a jumper ties the game at 74 as this rivalry heads into overtime. Amari Hardy drains a clutch 3 from the corner to keep the game tied at 79 with 1:30 to go in OT. Jalen Harris pushes through for 2 to take the lead 81-79. The tension is thick as all UNLV needs is a 3-pointer to win the game. But there's miscommunication on the court between Coach Otzelberger and the Rebels in the final seconds of overtime as Hamilton misses his 3-pointer. UNR would go on to win with a foul shot from Jalen Harris with a final score of 82-79, an overtime heartbreaker for the Rebels.
It just hurts to just lose, period, you know, but lose on our home court, you know, this game meant a lot to us, you know, a lot to me, my teammates, our coaches, our school, university, you know, everybody. It hurts to lose in general and just, you know, just to, I don't know, it's unexplainable, it just hurts.
All right, the big thing in this game was the free throw shooting, and that was so uncharacteristic of this team who has been shooting free throws fairly well all year long. That came out of nowhere.
It really did. You know, we just struggled at the line. We did a great job taking care of the ball. We had an amount of turnovers we're okay with in terms of most games, but we just couldn't really capitalize at the free throw line, and it kind of became we kind of shot ourselves in the foot.
Shot selection was another thing that kind of reared its ugly head. A ton of threes, didn't make a ton of them. Some weird moments to take threes early in shot clocks. That's something that's easy to clean up, though, in film session afterwards.
Absolutely, and the guys recognize it. You know, this has been a group that's been great about when they see it on film or it's brought to their attention that they've acknowledged it and addressed it. I believe we were 9 of 39 in that game, and just too many kind of out of rhythm threes, especially in the shot clock, or you know, not enough touches with the ball going side to side. So, but they acknowledge it, they talk about it, they see it. So I think that's one of the reasons they were able to bounce back.
One positive, I think, to take away from this game is the difference between this one and the game up in Reno, where their guards really dominated on both ends of the floor. I thought defensively UNLV did a much better job on their guards. You know that there are certain guys that are going to get their points, but overall, much better job.
Yeah, I mean Harris is going to do what he's going to do, and I thought we battled him and we made him make some tough shots, but just unfortunately not enough.
Well, let's take our first break right now, and then we're going to take a look ahead to two big ones coming this week. That's on the backside of the break as the Red Zone rolls on.
You're watching the Fox 5 RebZone Sports Show, sponsored by R.C. Willey and Levitt Law Firm.
The schedule doesn't get any easier for the Runnin' Rebels. 2 games this week, one at home, one on the road against 2 teams that are in the top tier of the Mountain West.
The week begins Tuesday night at 7:30 at the Thomas & Mack as Colorado State comes to town. In the first meeting in Fort Collins, CSU had a huge second half and ran away from UNLV 95-77. The Rams have been riding 2 prolific freshmen in Isaiah Stevens and David Roddy, who are both making cases for Freshman of the Year honors. They also can lean heavily on senior stalwart Nico Carvacho, who is a double-double machine and is the Mountain West all-time leading rebounder. Having a presence like Carvacho is a huge luxury, but head coach Nico Medved said that it can also pose problems for the rest of the team.
We're the victims of standing around and watching him rebound too, and I think that although he was great individually, I think we need to become a better rebounding team overall. We need to help him more on both ends of the floor rebound.
Colorado State is one of several teams all bunched up in the standings, and this game will go a long ways in determining the seeding in the conference tournament. On Saturday, the Runnin' Rebels travel south to San Diego to take on the 4th-ranked team in the country. San Diego State has already clinched the regular season Mountain West title, and they're now pushing to get a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. 22 of the Aztecs' wins have come by 9 points or more, but one that did not was in Las Vegas earlier this season when UNLV took them to the wire before losing by 4, 71-67. SDSU has all the makings of a great team. They don't turn the ball over, they can crank it up defensively, and they get scoring inside and out, with center Yanni Wetzel shooting 60% from the floor and Malachi Flynn pouring in buckets from all over. In fact, San Diego State is the only team in the country that's ranked in the top 10 in Ken Palm's offensive and defensive efficiency. Then there's playing at Viejas Arena, always one of the best environments, and with a recharged student section known as the Show, it's going to be as tough of a road game as the Rebels will face all season.
For San Diego, we are the pro basketball team, San Diego State. We get all the support, and we're very thankful for that. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference in winning and losing. And we're excited when this building is full, and I hope it will be that way for the rest of the year.
One final note on this game, the Aztecs have the midweek bye and will have several days off coming in. Will it be rest or rust that determines the outcome? We'll find out Saturday afternoon.
Let's begin with Colorado State. When you guys played up in Fort Collins, at about the 17-minute mark of the second half, they switched to a 1-3-1 zone, and everything went downhill from there. How important is it, knowing that you're likely going to see that again, to get these guys prepared to be able to attack that?
Expect to see it. The guys have been great about, making adjustments and kind of going from there. So, but yeah, I'm sure we'll see it again, along with some other variations of zone or defense, because our guards have done such a good job of getting downhill and putting pressure on the defense that anything teams can do to kind of disrupt our rhythm, I think they've tried to do.
This is going to be a game where not having a bigger body like Donnie Tillman might hurt on the boards. Nico Carvacho, of course, gets a ton of rebounds, and size-wise, there's going to be a little bit of a mismatch problem in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Carvacho, one of the best bigs in Mountain West history, really, and when you got a guy like Roddy playing the way that he can play, the rebounding is going to be a huge emphasis for our guys in the next couple days leading up to it.
And then on Saturday, you head down to San Diego. You know well from playing down there that when that place is electric, which it has been all season long, one of the toughest places to play in the country.
No question. I mean, the way they've got it rolling right now, they're feeling pretty good. And our guys know, though, we've been in some hostile environments this year, so they know it's not going to be any different than what we're going to explain to them. And they know that we're going to have to be pretty in tune with each other to go down there and stay together, because it's going to be loud. They're going to go on runs, and for us to pull out the win, we've got to stick to the game plan and stay positive and kind of be together.
Another break for us straight ahead, and then when we come back, we're going to feature Elijah Mitrou-Long. That's coming up next in the Red Zone.
You're watching the Fox 5 RebZone Sports Show, sponsored by R.C. Willey and Levitt Law Firm.
All season long, we've been showing you some of the Runnin' Rebel players so you can get to know them better. And this week, we look at senior grad transfer Elijah Mitrou-Long.
Every team needs solid senior leadership, and this season the Runnin' Rebels have been getting it from Elijah Mitrou-Long. Unfortunately, he's been having to lead a good portion of the season from off the court. A broken left thumb suffered in early December sidelined Mitrou-Long for 7 weeks. He said it was tough to sit and watch without being able to play.
It's hard, man. You know, you play this game that you love every day. You practice hard. You wait for the moments to play in the game, and you can't do it. You know, and you're traveling with the team. But the one thing I learned is just being positive, staying humble and hungry, and then your time will come. And I think that's the one thing that I learned from being injured. You know, just positive outlook.
Mitrou-Long said one good thing that came out of his injury was the emergence and growth of Marvin Coleman, who got a lot of minutes and helped carry the team during stretches. Now that Mitrou-Long has been back a few games, he's starting to feel more comfortable.
I think getting back into things, I'm not forcing nothing. I'm letting the ball come to me. If I feel good, I'm going to shoot it. If it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't, can't put so much stress on myself because I've been out for, 7 weeks, and they've been doing good, and I need to adjust to them just like how they need to adjust to me.
Mitrou-Long has logged some miles in his college career. He started at Mount St. Mary's, where he was a teammate of now fellow Rebel Jonah Antonio. Then he transferred to Texas, where he played 1 season and got a degree in corporate communications. This year, he grad transferred to UNLV for his final season of eligibility while working on a master's degree. But it all started in Canada, growing up in a city just outside of Toronto on Lake Ontario. As a Canadian, former UNLV star and first-round NBA pick Anthony Bennett was an influence, not just on him, but Canadian basketball in general.
Anthony Bennett was one of those guys that paved the way for not only myself, but other young cats coming up in not only just Toronto, but Canada, like you said. He was probably one of the main guys that really inspired a lot of people. Going #1 draft pick from Canada, from Brampton, Ontario, never heard of in anybody's life when it came to Canada. So the fact that he went and did that here, he just opened a lot of guys' eyes and opened a lot of gateways for us.
While basketball in Canada is not going to overtake the popularity of hockey, the Toronto Raptors' NBA title last season has put hoops on the mind of people who normally would not watch basketball.
Oh my God, the city's crazy. I think we're gonna cherish that for the rest of our lives. I don't think there's gonna be another championship as big as that. The city's alive. It's different now. Everybody knows who Toronto is, where Toronto is, what Toronto is.
Mitrou-Long grew up as the 3rd youngest of 10 kids.
If you weren't at the dinner table first, you're not eating. You got to stick up for yourself. You got to share.
But being from a big family, it gave him an added toughness and competitiveness that has benefited him in basketball and will in life as well.
If you don't have a competitive nature and 9 siblings, then you're not going to eat. You're not going to be able to survive. When it comes to just personally, like emotionally, you're going to have to be strong. You got to, fight for yourself.
As for his college career, Mitrou-Long has one big fight left: to get back to the NCAA tournament, where he played as a sophomore at Mount St. Mary's. To do that, the Runnin' Rebels will have to run the table the first week of March.
Is this team capable of winning the Mountain West tournament?
100%. It only matters with those 3 games, man, and that's all that really matters. And any team can win it at that time because it's madness in March, So, yeah.
Gotta get hot.
Gotta get hot and roll with it.
So through your experience coming as a senior grad transfer, sometimes that's hard. Sometimes things click to come in and be a point guard. It seems like he's earned the respect of his teammates and kind of has the flow going with these guys.
Yeah, I know Eli's done a great job of coming in, and especially now coming back from his injury. I think the injury setback is unexpected, unfortunate, and disappointing, really, to have that happen during your senior year. But since he's been back, I think he's been a good teammate. He's been, good in practice, and especially in the New Mexico game, he went out there and had a good aggressiveness to him, and was a really key player tonight.
The one thing with his injury was it gave Marvin Coleman the chance to start, and and Coleman has been great, and now Mitrou-Long's coming off the bench. How much of a luxury is it to have somebody with that type of experience and talent that's coming off the bench?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you know, Eli is being a point guard at his previous stops, and the ability for Marvin to come and learn and grow the way he did when Eli was out, and then Amari with his ability to handle the ball and kind of play that point guard position as well. You really have 3 point guards, and you can never have too many point guards.
One final break for us, and we are coming back with the Runnin' Rebel Plays of the Week. Stick and stay.
You're watching the Fox 5 RebZone Sports Show, sponsored by RC Willey and Levitt Law Firm.
All right, Kev, thanks for keeping the seat warm. We appreciate it, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us inside the Reb Zone. We leave you tonight with the Runnin' Rebel Plays of the Week.
The RebZone Sports Show, sponsored by RC Willey and Levitt Law Firm.